Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to do prediction on Shreya's journey inside the house. Okay, we are going to check her past, present and future energies. So let's see what's there for past. We got High Priestess energy. For the present we got the Wheel of Fortune, and for the future we have devil. Oh god, major, like more, three of them are major arcana, so it's an indication whatever journey she is going to, that is going to impact in her life in a good or bad way for the very long term, that is for sure. Okay, let's see. For the past we got High Priestess. So see, High Priestess is card of hidden knowledge, card of intuition, card of observation, card of secrets. Looking at Shreya's early journey, this card fits her perfectly. Like, she did not enter the show without preparation. She walked into the house already knowing a lot about the contestants, their history, and the issues they had outside the show. So from the beginning, she brought up Ram Kapoor's old remarks, right? She spoke about the equation between Shivangi and Kushal, and even mentioned Yogesh's past from Splitsvilla. This is classic High Priestess energy, but instead of quietly keeping that information to herself, she used it during conversations and arguments, and she seemed to know exactly where people were emotionally vulnerable and where people kept those points. I mean, she kept all those things ready until the right moment came, right? So whenever an opportunity came, she revealed those hidden details like a surprise attack. So, when it comes to past, this first card, High Priestess, also reflects the way she stayed slightly separate from the rest of the house in the beginning, right? Instead of trying to become close to everyone, she formed a small circle with Shilpa Shinde and Madhuri. While many contestants appeared to be against her, she trusted only a few people and observed everything happening around her. That is another strong quality of the High Priestess. She watched first, she understood people, and relied on her own judgment rather than following the crowd, right? That is what happened. So when it comes to present situation, interestingly we have Wheel of Fortune. See, right now, the middle card, Wheel of Fortune, Shreya's energy is representing, like, this card is representing her current energy. This shows that everything around her is changing very quickly, because Wheel of Fortune is all about sudden changes, unexpected twists, ups and downs, and situations that can change overnight. So it mainly talks about turning point where nothing remains stable for long. So this actually matches what is happening in the house. Shreya has become one of the biggest reasons behind the daily drama. Like, she's no longer someone quietly sitting in the background. Almost every major discussion or argument somehow connects back to her. Whether people support her or criticize her, everyone is talking about her, right? So one moment she's standing up for herself because she needs mm, medication, if you remember, and the very next moment the whole house is shouting at her. We have already seen Harshad aggressively charging at her and calling her some stray word, right? So these sudden shifts perfectly reflect the Wheel of Fortune. You know, one day she may receive sympathy, and the very next day she becomes the target of everyone's anger. So, again, this middle card, Wheel of Fortune, shows that she has successfully shaken the entire house. She has changed the dynamics of the game, but she has also lost control over how people react to her. You know, once wheel starts spinning, nobody can fully predict where it will stop, right? Every time she exposes another secret, confronts someone, or even mocks contestants, like, I think her name is Pamela, she creates another way of conflict that keeps her relevant, but it also that's creating new enemy to her. So at present, her friendship with Shilpa Madhuriji, it's giving her support and helping her to survive emotionally at least. However, Wheel of Fortune reminds us that nothing stays the same forever. Alliances can change, people can switch sides, and public opinion can move in a completely different direction. So she is currently one of the most talked about contestants, but this position is exactly as well as risky because everything is constantly changing, nothing is stable, right? Interesting. So when it comes to future, we got devil energy for her. Devil is the strongest warning. Okay, you guys can see the third picture because devil shows toxic patterns, devil shows unhealthy attachments, temptations, obsessions, manipulations. So it does not necessarily mean something bad will definitely happen, but it warns about the direction someone may take if they continue making the same choices. For Shreya, this card suggests that for the future, this competition may become tougher. Like she may feel tempted to depend completely on confrontations to stay in the spotlight. Since fighting and exposing people have already brought her that attention, she may believe that continuing the same strategy is the only way to remain relevant. She might believe that. And we have already seen hints of this behavior, right? During argument, she has brought up Akansha Chamola's personal separation and has also revealed someone's orientation, right? So this third card, devil, suggests that future confrontations could become even more personal, that might become harsher, and that might also be emotionally damaging to her if she does not draw a line. Because devil is a warning card, guys. She could slowly become trapped in her own villain image. Other contestants may continue provoking her, challenging her, testing her patience. So instead of ignoring those situations, she may react every single time. The more she responds emotionally, the more she strengthens the cycle. But eventually, she may start fighting not because the issue is important, but because she feels she has to defend herself all the time. Okay, and another important message I'm getting from the devil is, see, public perception, it all talks about 10th house, right? So if personal attacks, exposing private matters, crossing ethical boundaries, if that becomes her main strategy, audience may begin to see her differently. She may believe she is fighting alone against unfair treatment, but this card is warning her that she could become so attached to the conflict that she loses sight of where the limit should be. Those things are very much possible. See, devil also affects relationship. It can create fear, it can create manipulation, or it can create unhealthy dependence. So her close bond with Shilpa Madhuriji may also be tested in the future. Like if her actions become too difficult for them to defend, that might crack, that might crack their friendships. Those things are very much possible. There is even a possibility that she could feel isolated during later stages of competition if these two connection weakens. So see, okay, let's pull another two more cards, like what she needs to give up, like what is that one thing she needs to avoid, and what is that one thing she needs to embrace. Okay, let's see. Energy which she needs to avoid at this moment. What's there? The one thing she needs to avoid at this moment. We got nine of wands, okay. And what is that one thing she needs to embrace to have a better future? Okay, sun. Okay, see, the nine of wands, it represents someone who has been through many battles. This person is tired, this person is emotionally exhausted, This person is constantly alert. This person is always expecting another attack. Even when nothing is happening, they are waiting for the next problem. That's why in that card you can see Nine of Wands. That person is guarding up. So this is exactly the energy of Shreya, which she needs to avoid. From the beginning of the show, a large part of the house seemed to be against her because of those experiences. She has built very strong emotional walls around herself. Instead of feeling safe, she is appearing like she's expecting betrayals, she's expecting criticism, she's expecting confrontations from almost everyone, and she's staying ready to defend herself all the time, right? See, the problem with carrying this energy inside a reality show, it becomes difficult to separate from real danger, to separate from small or disagreements, right? When someone is constantly expecting a fight, they may react before the other person has even finished speaking. So every conversation starts feeling like an argument waiting to happen, right? So this makes her appear extremely defensive, and this makes her appear like she's always on high alert. It can also make her seem emotionally tired and frustrated, even during moments that do not require such a strong reaction. So, Nine of Wands is asking Shreya to let go of this, me against the world mindset. She needs to let go of it. She does not have to treat every contestant as a enemy. If she continues believing that everyone is planning to attack her, she will keep wasting her emotional energy on every small comment, every small disagreement. Instead of saving her strength for situation that truly matters, she could end up reacting to everything, right? So this behavior might feel a bit exhausting to her. It might drain her confidence, it might affect her judgment, it might make it difficult to enjoy the game. So this Nine of Wands card, it's kind of warning her that if she continues carrying this emotional burden, she may slowly burn herself out. The house is already stressful, and staying in survival mode every single day will only make that pressure heavier. She does not need to treat the lockup house like a battlefield where every person must be defeated. Sometimes choosing peaceful is stronger than preparing for another fight, right? So yeah, that is the thing. So let's see. I asked like what is that one thing she needs to embrace. So I got the sun energy. See, sun is one of the most positive and powerful card in the entire deck, because sun represents happiness, confidence, honesty, clarity, positive energy. It encourages someone to step into the fight, sorry, in the light instead of remaining trapped in the darkness. Okay. So see, this message is very much important because her future card was devil, right? When we checked past, present, future. So rather than staying stuck in negativity, rather than staying stuck in personal attacks, rather than staying stuck in constantly bringing up people's past mistake, this card is encouraging her to change the way she presents herself. Like, instead of searching for hidden information, exposing old issues, sending toxic messages, making personal comments during arguments, she needs to create a lighter atmosphere herself. Audience has already seen moments where her entertaining side came out, especially when she tried mimicry and brought humor into the house. Those moments showed a different side of her personality already. So she should build on what version of herself, you know, that entertaining version of herself, rather instead of focusing only on confrontations, right? So this card does not ask her to become weak or to stop speaking the truth. Instead of that, this card is encouraging her to be honest without becoming hurtful. Like, she can express her opinions confidently without crossing personal boundaries, also, right? She needs to allow her natural confidence to shine instead of letting anger become her biggest identity inside that game. If she begins showing more warmth, more positivity, and genuine confidence, people inside the house may respond differently. Even the audience may start seeing her from new perspective, right? So, this energy can also strengthen her bond with Shilpa, Madhuriji. Like, instead of bringing only tension into that alliance, she can become the person who adds life, laughter, positive energy. That change alone could completely transform how her relationships develop in the coming weeks. So the sun energy is asking Shreya to rewrite her story instead of becoming known as contestant who constantly exposes secrets, who creates conflicts. She has the opportunity to become someone who is confident, who is entertaining, who is fearless, who is impossible to ignore because of positive reasons. So if Shreya continues to living in that energy, like always expecting betrayals, always keeping her guard up. She needs to avoid all of it. Always preparing herself for a fight. She needs to avoid it. You know, if she continues the same thing, more likely that she will walk into negative energy because we saw devil energy, right? That path can trap her in endless arguments, emotional exhaustions, and decisions that may ultimately hurt her game. However, if she continuously chooses the energy of sun, everything can begin to change. By lowering her emotional walls, she need to let go of constant suspicious things and she needs to start showing some warmthness. She should allow her natural confidence. She should allow her positive personality to shine. That is when she can completely change the direction of her game. Because, see, Wheel of Fortune has already shown that nothing inside the house stays the same forever. If she chooses growth instead of fear, instead of, if she chooses positivity instead of bitterness, if she chooses confidence instead of constant defense, the moment of her game can shift into her favor. Rather than getting consumed by negativity around her, she has the potential to rise above it and to become one of the strongest and most memorable contestants for all the right reasons, right? So, yeah, that was the message. That was the journey prediction of Shreya. It went too long, I know, but I hope it gave you in-depth information about her journey. Let me know what you guys felt in the comment section and let me know about whom do you guys need to know in the next video. Okay, for the personal reading, for your personal situations, you guys can approach me DM to the number, and don't forget to subscribe for more such videos. I shall see you all in my very next video. Till that, take care. Bye bye.